So, hi guys, good evening. Am I audible? Guys, you can respond in the chat. Am I audible? Good evening, everyone. Any one of you can respond in the chat whether am I audible or not. Good evening, Vaibhav. Thank you for your reply. So, guys, I just want to know if you people have any doubts in our previous session concepts. Like we have seen some concepts till now, right? So, if you people have any doubts, okay, thank you. So, yes, guys. So, if you people have any doubts in the concepts which we have already seen, like you can let me know so that I'll explain that concept and then we'll be moving to today's concept. And I think yesterday, at last, we have seen about the if else block, which means the conditional statements. And now we are just going to start with switch case. After dealing with switch case, we'll be seeing jump statements, okay, and then we'll be moving on to control structures, where today I'll be teaching you how to print some pattern kind of coding problems, and also we'll be seeing the bucketing algorithm today. And then we have to see about the strings and arrays concept, and we'll be solving a problem. If time permits, we'll be solving that problem. Otherwise, we'll be solving it tomorrow. And there also, I'll be explaining you a different approach, a new DSA approach. Okay. I'll be sharing it with the OctaNet team, Sakshi. Okay. So, do you people want the entire PPT? I mean, I don't have any notes. Like, I only have PPT. Is that fine? Can I share you the PPT? Will that work? So, let's wait for a minute and then we'll be starting with today's session. And, guys, how is it, Josh? Like, this is our third session, right? Okay, Sakshi. I'll be sending it to the OctaNet team. Okay. So, how's the Josh, guys? Come on. Okay. Okay. So yesterday we have seen about if block, right? So switch case also comes under conditional. I mean, it comes under conditional statements, but switch case is completely different. In the sense, switch case in the switch case, no, we'll be having a keyword switch which is already reserved in Java. So with the help of switch case, we'll be having different scenarios. Okay, so we'll be giving different cases for each and every thing. So for example, if I'm going to take a number input from the user, okay, so I'm going to ask the user to enter from 1 to 5. Okay, so if he enters 1, I'll be printing it is something like January. If he is giving 2, I want to give Feb. If he is giving 3, I want to give March. 4 means April. 5 means May. And if he is giving any other number which is greater than 5, I just want to say the user that it is an invalid number or invalid input. Okay, something like that. So, like switch is also a kind of conditional statement where, depending upon the conditions only, some operations is going to take place. Okay, but it is quite very similar to if else if block, if else if later. Okay, in the sense, what and all things we are going to do with switch case, we can do the same thing. I mean, we can apply the same logic, or we can get the desired output if we are using if else block also. Okay, but as we are having a broader view on conditional statements, now I'll be telling you how to use the switch case. So this is the flowchart diagram of how a switch case works. So first of all, you'll be giving an expression. Okay. For example, this expression can include any computational thing, or you can get the input from the user. Depending on the input which the user gives, you're just going to, like, depending upon that user input, we'll be having certain conditions, and then we'll be, executing the blocks, the corresponding blocks. Okay. So here we'll be having cases. Case one, case is the reserved keyword, and this one to up to n. It is not like every time you have to give case one, case two. No, that the, like, the thing which is next to the case, actually it depends on what basis you are just going to apply your like switch case. We'll be seeing an example. Don't worry. Okay, just I'm giving you an overview of what is a switch case. Okay, and here, first of all, it is being mapped with the first case which you are given. So if this particular, you will be giving something like okay, so you will be giving something like case. So I mean, like, if we are getting the choice from the user, and depending on the choice only, you have to apply some logic or some switch case. Means, let's say I'm going to get a character value from the user. Okay, so I'm going to get a character value. So if the user gives a, okay, for example, if he or she is going to give a, so I'll be giving the switch case as case on which basis I want to check, I want to place my condition. So case a, okay, I'll be giving the, like, a block of the code which is to be executed, and after this block, I'll be giving I'll be giving a block of statements, and after this I'll be giving break. I mean, why we are supposed to give a break after each case in the sense, I'll be telling you in the code. Okay, so this is how actually a switch case works. Okay, just have a basic idea. So depending upon the condition, if that particular, I mean, like, the data type or the value which is given in the case, if it's getting matched with the choice, means this statement will be getting executed. And okay, so if it is not getting matched, then it goes to case 2. If it is not getting matched, then it goes to next case. Okay. In like, if else, later we'll be having something called as else block. If all the if else conditions are not working, the code which is present in the else block will be getting executed, right? Similarly, we do have a default case here. So if none of the cases getting matched, so the default case will be getting executed. Okay. Don't worry. Now we have seen only the overview. I mean, like, you people can work with me parallelly so that you'll be getting clear understanding. Uh, Guys, I hope everybody has installed Java, like, any IDEs like IntelliJ or Eclipse. Okay. So I'm just going to give you an example of how a switch case works. So let's take the problem as, like, I'm going to find the days of the week. Okay. So I'm going to find the days of the week, because of which I want to get the input from the user, right? So first of all, I'll be importing my util package. Only if you are having util in our code, the scanner class will be working. So I'll be creating a scanner object. Okay. Now I'm going to get my choice from the user, and my choice is going to be an integer. se.nextInt. Now only I'm going to apply my switch case based on the choice or based on the input which is given by the user. So I want to put switch inside on which thing I want to apply each and every case. So choice. So after getting choice from the user, in the control comes to switch block, and inside the switch block I'm going to pass my choice. So the input what the user has sent will be passed to the switch block. Okay, so I will be giving case 1. So if the user gives 1 as his or her choice, I'll be printing it's Monday. Okay, and I'll be giving a break statement. Next will be my case 2. System.out.println Tuesday. I'll be giving a break statement. Case 3. Guys, once again, just a minute. Sorry for the interruption, guys. Okay, so in my case 3, I'm just going to give either it's Wednesday. Okay, I'll be having only 3 cases here. Otherwise, and I should give a break statement. Either if the user enters a number which is not 1, 2, or 3, then I'm going to give a default case. Okay, where I'll be printing invalid input. See, just if we are going to check the days of the week, just we'll be having only 7 cases. Or wait, case 4. Thursday. Case 5. Friday. And the same you're going to repeat. Okay, so let's not waste our time here. So default case, I'm going to give it as invalid input, and I'm going to give a break statement here. Okay. So now let's run the code. So whenever I'm giving 2, Tuesday is getting printed. So how the control goes here is I'll be getting the input from the user. Inside the switch block, it goes. Okay, and it checks whether the user input is getting matched with thing which I have defined here. So first it checks whether choice is equal to 1. No, so it gets skipped here. Then it comes here and it checks whether choice is equal to 2. Yes, it is the answer. So what I'm doing is I'm going to print Tuesday in my code and I'm going to break. So when this break is applied, then what happens means uh, the control will come out of the switch case. Now let's see what happens if you're not giving the break here. Okay, if I'm not going to give any break statement here. Okay, now let's check the output. Okay, so I'm not giving break. Like you might ask why should we give break after each case. So here I think you people notice the difference. So if I'm not giving break, what it does, so it checks with 1. No, the case is not getting matched. So next it checks with 2. Okay, now the case is getting matched. So what happens? So this statement will be getting executed and this will not be like checked. Okay, so again the control comes here, Wednesday will be getting executed and it checks only for the break statement. Whenever a case is getting matched with the user input or with the choice on which your case which case is going to be applied, then it checks only for the break statement, and that's the reason we are getting Tuesday as well as Wednesday in our output. Okay, so guys, are you people clear with this thing? Because here is a catch. Okay, so if you're not giving break statement, then what it does? The case is getting matched here in this line. In line number 12, the case is getting matched. Now the control will check only for the break statement, because only when you give the break statement, the control comes out of the switch block. So that's why I'm not giving break here. Uh, both the thing is getting executed, it's getting printed, and then when this break is being applied, then the control comes out of the switch case. Okay, so that's why after every after every case we are supposed to give break statement. Okay, and let's see, I'm going to give something, a number greater than 5. Let's see what happens. The default case, uh, invalid input is getting printed because the 6 is not matched with any of the above cases. So this is all about switch case. People, are you clear with this? Are you clear with the switch case concept, or if you have any doubts, you can let me know. Sorry, people, clear with switch case? Yes, you can respond in the chat window. Okay, so yes, so these are all the conditional statements which we have seen. Next is the control statement. As the name suggests, we are going to have some control on some process which is going to, like occur. Okay. For example, I just want to print numbers from 1 to 100. Okay. I want to give 1, 2, I want to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like till 100. So how to do that? So I know it is going to be an iterative process, so I just want to, like have a control on my print statement where it should be getting printed from 1 to 100. So in order to execute this logic, I cannot give 100 print statements stating that system dot outer println 1, system dot outer println 2. No, it doesn't make sense, right? So in order to, repeat a process, or in order to iterate a step until a given condition is being met, we'll be going with control structures. Okay, so we are going to have a control over certain things. So we are going to iterate certain things, and depending upon a condition, until some condition is true, we are going to iterate over the same process. When the condition breaks, or when the condition becomes false, obviously your loop is going to get break. Okay, now we do have three control statements, or three control structures in Java. First thing, for loop, while loop, do while loop. So they are also called as looping statements. Loop means you are going to repeat a process until the condition is true. Okay, and most probably, like, all the three things are same. So all the three things, for, do while, and while, all the three things are going to do the same process. Their functions are quite the same, but you will be having a slight difference between while and do while. Only in the do while operation, you'll be encountering a very slight difference. Okay, but the goal of using looping statements is to repeat a process until the condition is true, and you're going to get the output, and all the three loops work similar. Whenever you're going to solve any coding kind of problems, you can either go for loop, or you can either go for while loop. Only the syntax differs. So you people, whichever loop you're comfortable, you can go with it, because the result is going to be the same. Okay, so this is this is actually the syntax of how to declare a for loop. Okay, so for is the keyword in Java. Here first is the initialization part. So inside the for loop, in the for loop statement, we'll be having three main important parts which needs to be given. So first thing will be the initialization thing. Okay, from the point where you have to start. Okay, or until yeah, it's something like the starting point. And test condition. So I have said, right, you're going to apply loop, or you're going to iterate some process until the condition is true. Until this test condition is true, your loop works. When this test condition breaks, your loop terminates. Okay, and this is the updation. So here I'm going to give a variable. I'm going to assign a variable as 5. Okay, I'm going to check whether 5 is less than or equal to 10. The condition is true. So the statements whichever is present in my for loop will be getting executed once. Again, my I will be incremented. So now I becomes 6. So I become 6, I'm just going to check whether 6 is less than or equal to 10. Yes, the condition is true. Again, the loop is going to work. Now my I becomes 7. I is getting incremented here, updated here, right? I becomes 7. This condition is checked. I is less than or equal to 10, right? So again my loop is going to work. Now next I becomes 8. 8 is less than or equal to 10. My loop is going to get work. Okay, next I becomes 9. Okay, 9 is less than or equal to 10. Now my loop works. Okay, for the fifth time. Then now my I becomes 10. As I have given less than or equal to 10 is less than or equal to 10. It's true. Again, I'm going to, the loop is going to be executed. Okay. Now I becomes 11. 11 is not less than or equal to 10. So obviously the test condition fails. So the control will come out of the for loop. So for 6 times, the block of statements which you have written inside the for loop is going to work. Okay, so this is how a simple, like loop works. Okay, I'll be giving an example of good evening guys. So I'll be giving an example of how a for loop works, a very simple example. Okay, so I'm just going to print the multiplication table. Okay, so I'm going to get the input from the user, and okay, I want to print the multiplication table of the numbers which the user has given. So I'll be giving using for loop for int I is equal to, from 1 I should start. Okay, so if the user is giving 5, then 5 into 1 till 5 into 10. Okay, so I is greater than or equal to 10. You can give either like this, or also you can give I is less than 11. Okay, it also works. I plus plus system dot out dot println choice into I equal to choice star I. Okay, now I will be giving 15 here. Okay, now in my for loop I have given from I is equal to 1 to I is less than or equal to 10. Okay, so what I'm doing in each step now, for initially my I will be 1, so I'm just going to print choice. Choice is 15. 15 into 1 is equal to 15 into 1. Okay, I mean here we are going to compute. Here we are using arithmetic operation. So here we are going to compute 15 into 1. Then now my I will be incremented to 2. Next, here the computation will be 15 into 2. So similarly it goes. So this is how to print, like, yeah. This is a very simple example, I know. Okay. We'll be seeing how to print how to retrieve the factorial of a number after seeing the while loop. Okay. So guys, are you clear with for loop? This keyword, actually this keyword we'll be using it whenever we are dealing the concept of classes and objects. Okay, so we'll be having two keywords in Java, this and super. Okay, so like I mean, if you people have idea about what do you mean by a class and object, like, okay, we do have two classes. Array, yeah, this is out of the context, but still I'll be telling you. Okay, guys, if somebody have doubt in the for loop, you can let me know, because for loop is a very, very important thing, and people, you should know about how a loop works, because it helps a lot. For any coding problem, if you're going to solve it using any brute force approach or any approach, you will be using looping concept. Okay, yeah, yeah, Sonali. So we'll be having two classes. Okay, we'll be following. Okay, we'll be having inheritance concept. Inheritance in the sense, I can without implementing the methods in one class, I can use the attributes and methods which is present in another class. In order to use that, I want to inherit that particular class. So the class from which we are going to inherit that particular class is known as superclass or parent class. Okay, so the class which has inherited the properties, they are known as base class or child class. Okay, So this keyword is actually used in order to, whenever we are working inside a particular class, this keyword tells that the variables or the method that belongs to that particular class. Okay, I mean, this is something like, I'm going to use a method, or I'm going to use the same attribute which is present in my class. I'll be telling this dot the variable name in order to specify that this variable is one of my instant variables. I remember you people like know what do you mean by instance variables. So the variable which will be declared outside the method but inside the class. So in order to differentiate the instance variables of that particular class and a normal instance variables which is passed into that class, we'll be using this keyword. This means it is to that particular class. Super is a keyword which is actually used in order to refer the parent class. Okay. Don't worry if you're not getting what I'm saying. For sure, tomorrow we'll be seeing the usage of this keyword. Okay, don't worry. So people now are clear with the looping concept, for loop. Next, we'll be going to a while loop, and then we'll be seeing a problem, how to find a factorial of a number. Guys, come on, you can respond in the chat. Sonali, did you get what you mean by this keyword? This keyword is actually used to indicate that the methods or the variables which you're going to use, that particular variable or that particular method belongs to only this class. I mean, only that independent class, that corresponding class. Okay, guys, I hope this is clear for you. Is this clear, or should I want to repeat it again? Or is my pace okay, or am I very fast today? Because no response from your side. Come on, guys, let me know so that. Okay. Thank you, Sakshi and Sonali. What about others? Like only Sakshi and Sonali is present in today's class, right? Okay. So next we'll be saying the while loop thing. While loop is also going to perform the same thing, going to iterate until the condition is true. Okay. But here the syntax will be very different. The same thing. Here it is only the flowchart is given. Now in order to give the while loop, I'll be printing the same multiplication table using while loop. Okay. So now we are going to give while. I'll be telling you first the syntax. While the condition, until this condition is true, okay, your your statements or your block of code inside the while block will be getting executed. Okay. So you want to write these statements or the things which you are going to perform here, and at the last, I mean, after writing the operations which is going to be performed, here only the important step, I think like whenever you are solving the coding steps, you people might forget it, increment or decrement, because here only the updation of I is being carried out. This is something like, okay, uh, yeah, you will be initializing a particular value outside. Okay, and this condition is the condition which is given here. Okay, and the updation is the updation which is given at the end of the while loop. Okay, at the end of the while block. It's not while loop, while block. So here I'm going to give the condition as mm, I'm going to give int I is equal to 1. Okay, while I is less than or equal to 10. Okay, I'm just going to print system dot out dot println choice plus x plus um, I plus equal to same choice star I. This block only we had, this is the statement which we have executed in for loop also, right? Now I'm going to increment I plus plus. So first of all, initially I will be 1. The condition will be checked here. If I is less than or equal to 10, it is true. So this block will be getting executed. Now my I value will be updated. Now my I becomes 2. So it comes here and checks whether 2 is less than or equal to 10. It is true. So this statement will be getting executed. Now my I becomes 3. Then control comes here. 3 is less than or equal to 10. It is getting executed. Okay. Okay. So this is how a while loop will be getting executed. Both for and while loop, it does the same purpose, but the syntax will be slightly different. But the same initialization you are going to do, increment or decrement you are going to do, you are going to give us a test condition, everything you are going to do. Okay. And one more thing. Um, okay. If you are giving something like while while 1 means here 1 will be considered as true. While true, this will be the case. I'm going to give in the print statement, let me give OctaNet. Okay. So can anyone say now what happens? Because I'm just giving while 1. Okay. 1 here represents true. So here the condition will be something like while true. Okay, while true, I'm just going to, like print OctaNet. So can someone say what happens in this case and what happens in this case? And I'm going to give while 0. So, so guys, can anyone tell what happens in both of these cases? If your answer is wrong, also that's completely fine. OctaNet will be printed, okay, but OctaNet will be printed in both the case. I mean, like in both the cases, OctaNet will be printed, or if it will be printed for how many times the octanet will be printed? Sahil? Um, guys, others can also answer. Okay, so just see both of these cases and just let me know. In case 1, what could be my output, and in case 2, what could be my output. And 1 and 0 represents 1 represents true and 0 represents false. Guys, you can try now, because if it's wrong also, there's nothing. I'm not going to give any reward or any punishment. Okay, just participate in the discussion, and octanet will be printed only if the condition is true. Okay, so does that mean in both of these cases the condition is false? While condition is false, I mean just give. Just put case 1. How it will be done, or what will be printed, or whether it will be printed or not, or for how many times do you think it will be getting printed? Okay, so only like you're telling like it will be getting printed whether octanet is true or false. Good, at least Sahil and Sonali have participated. What about others, guys? Like, you can tell me. Nothing printed, ma'am. In both the cases, nothing will be getting printed. I think it will depend on the user input. Okay. 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 But okay. So I am getting the input from the user, but I'm not at all I'm not at all using it anywhere inside the while block, right? I'm not using the choice anywhere. Until and unless I'm using choice, it will never be getting affected here. Okay. Choice, it's actually choice is actually the thing which you are getting the input from the user. Okay. And one more thing, in your for loop or while loop or in any part of your code, okay, only if you're like using that particular variable which you're going to take the input from the user, that time only it will be getting used. Okay, so okay, actually, okay, I'm telling you the answer. This statement was just given to confuse you, because I'm going to get the choice from the user. Yes, but I'm not at all using anywhere inside my while loop. Okay, so first I will comment out this second case. Let's see the first case. So what I have said, while the condition is true, the block inside the while loop will be getting executed, right? So here, what one represents true. So while true, I'm just going to print, and I'm not even giving any increment or decrement here. Okay, again the control comes here, while one. So what it does is, uh, it will be true in all the cases. Every time it will be true, so it leads to infinite printing of the statement octanet, of the word octanet. So it is known as an infinite loop. Infinite loop in the sense, every time the condition is going to be true, and you're not going to have a checkpoint here in order to break your condition. Okay, so let's see what happens when we run this code, and I have commented out this. Okay, while one, okay, oh sorry, like while true. Okay, so first it's going to ask my choice. I'll be giving 15. So infinite times the word octanet is being printed, because every time the loop's condition is true only. I'm not even converting it into false at any of my place, and I'm not even using the choice which I have retrieved from the user. Okay, okay, so this is in this case. So it leads to infinite loop. Here I think now you people understand. I mean, could answer what could be the answer for this. While false, I'm going to give this. So I said only until the condition is true, the control comes here, right? So initially I'm going to check while false. So first itself my control breaks. It is not true, so it will never be executed. So nothing will be printed in this case. It's giving unreachable code, because I mean, like, it is a false while loop. So not, I mean, no code is being no statement is being visible for the code in order to run your file. So it is giving unreachable statement. Okay, so guys, now is it clear? Yeah, Sahil. Yeah, it will go infinite. I think often it will be printed either when input is true or false. Yeah, you're correct. Actually, for explanation, I have used 1 and 0. If I could have said it as true or false. Okay, guys. So are you people clear with while loop? And I'm happy. Thank you for all these people who have participated. Thank you. Okay. So next, let's see the concept of do while. Okay, do while. The syntax for do while will be different, but will be quite slightly similar to while loop. So here you're going to give the statement do. You're going to give the block do block, and here only you're going to give the condition while the condition. Okay, so the syntax will be while some block of code. Okay, and in the while you're going to give some condition, and you are going to give the increment or decrement inside the do block. Okay, so while until this condition is true, this do block will be getting executed. But here is a catch. The slight difference between while and do while is, okay, so I'm getting the choice from the user. Okay, first time I mean, now the control comes here, do block is there, right? So for the very first time, even if the condition is false, for the very first time, if the even if the condition is false, this do block will be getting executed. I'll be showing an example. Don't worry, but just listen to this thing which I'm saying. We know that the looping statements work only until the condition is true, right? But in this case, after getting the choice input from the user, okay, this do block will be for once, for the very first time, this do block will be getting executed even if the condition is false, and then only it comes, okay, it checks the condition, and from there only, when the condition is true, the do block will be executing. I mean, that concept comes. Okay, I'll be showing an example. So just I'm going to tell system.out.println octanet. Okay, until my choice minus minus is greater than 0. Okay, this is the concept where we are going to use post decrement. Okay, until my choice is greater than 0, I'm going to execute this block. Okay, choice minus minus. So in each and every step, my choice will be decremented. So here I'm not giving the updation of my choice here. I'm giving it here inside the while, like the condition. Okay, choice minus minus is greater than 0. It is not something like an arrow, or it's not something like a pointer. No, it's choice minus minus post decrement greater than 0. Okay, let's check. So if I'm giving 5 times my choice, okay, if I'm giving 5 6 times, my output will be printed. Why? Because for the very first time, okay, my control will not check the while condition. Okay, in order to give a perfect example, like, okay, I'll not be using choice here. I'll be giving in I is equal to 1. Okay, let me give a condition here. Okay, until my I is okay, if my I is like, if my I is less than 1, I'm going to execute this loop. Okay, I mean, people are getting the point. Here I have given, I have assigned 1 to I. Okay, I'm going to check, I'm going to run my loop while I is less than or equal to 1. Okay, and here I'm going to do I minus minus. Okay, now let's see what happens. I should do I plus plus. Okay, so see the condition here. Initially, my I will be 1. Okay, now in the concept of looping statements, only until my condition is true, the do block must be executed, right? But for the very first time, this do block is being executed. Okay, so system.out.println is like it's being printed. Now the condition checks whether, and my I will be incremented. Now my I will be having the value 2. Now only the condition is checked here whether 2 is less than 1. It fails. So obviously, like, I mean, the loop breaks. But if you are going to give the same thing in while means, now output will be getting printed. I'll be giving the same thing. Okay, int j is equal to 1 while j is less than 1. I'm going to print case 2, and this is a case 1. So here is the difference. Okay, like, people, are you able to note the difference? This is by using do while loop. My first case is by using do while loop. The same conditions only I have applied here. Okay, but in my do while loop, without even checking the while condition, for the very first time, the block which is present in my do will be getting executed, it will be getting incremented, and then only the condition is checked. But and the next time and all the condition is checked, and if the condition is true only, the block will be getting executed. Only for the very first time, it gets executed without even checking the condition. This is in the case of do while, and this is in the case of while. So this is the difference between while and do while. So people are clear with the concept? Ma'am, do while is executed at least once. Then where do we can practically apply this loop? Uh, Practical application of dual. See, like looping concept. Looping concept actually comes whenever you want to do certain things in an iterative manner only, right? Uh, Mostly for solving the problems, and we'll be using while I mean looping conditions and all. I mean, you think of some real time scenarios where even if the condition is wrong, even if the condition is false, the operation must be like applied once. Okay, for example, let's build a scenario, okay, where I'm going to provide you some kind of course. Okay, I'm going to provide you some kind of course, or okay, I'll be giving. Okay, we'll be telling this example. Okay, so I'm going to conduct interview for all the people who are present over here. Okay, for the very first time, I'm not even going to consider your CGPA and marks and all. For the very first time, you people all will be allowed for the first round. You will be given the first chance, irrespective of any conditions, irrespective of your marks or CGPA. I'm just going to allow all you people to attend the first round, and let's say we are going to have aptitude round. Okay. So for the first round, the condition, I'm not going to check any condition of your marks or result, but you are allowed for the first round. But for the second round, okay, I'm just going to have a condition here. Only the people who have scored a threshold mark in aptitude round will be getting clarified for my next technical coding round. So this is something. It's not I mean, it's something an example for how a do while works. So thank you, Rohit. Sahil, are you clear? So I'm just going to give you, give you all people a chance for interview for the very first time. I'm not even going to consider any of your results of your previous results. So for the first time, you are given the chance. That time, no condition is checked. But again, even for the next round, you people are going to be filtered with the help of that condition. If it is true, if you're scoring above that particular threshold mark, you are just going to go for the second round. If not, the loop breaks. Okay. Yeah, great. Okay, so we have seen all the three looping statements. Now let's see the factorial of a number. So just people, just let me know if you people know what is meant by factorial. So I think you people know. Factorial, you people have studied in math, right? Factorial of a number. Okay, so factorial of a number is something which is defined the number, and we'll be having this symbol. If I'm going to say 5 factorial means it represents 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 2 into 1. Or if I'm going to give a 4 factorial means it is something like 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So here it is 120 and here it is 24. So if my user is going to give the input as 5, then the output must be 120. The factorial of 5 is 120. If my user is going to give the input 4, then the output must be the factorial of 4 is 24. Okay. So I think this is the basic logic behind what is meant by factorial. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a factorial variable. where my factorial, I mean, initially I'll be having the value 1. Okay. Okay. For int I is equal to 1 till I is less than or equal to num I plus plus, what I'm going to do is factorial star is equal to I. I'll be explaining it, don't worry. The factorial of my number is factorial. Okay. So what I'm doing here is uh hmm, initially my factorial variable will be 1. Okay. Now I'm going to check the condition and my I will be 1. Okay. I want to check whether I is less than or equal to num. So I will be 1 now. I want to check if my I is less than or equal to num. Num will be 5. Let's take the user is going to give 5 as the input. Okay. Now I will be 1. I'm just going to check. I'm just going to check 1 is less than or equal to 5. The condition is true, right? Now what happens? Earlier I have factorial as 1. So what I'm going to do? Factorial is equal to factorial into I. So f is equal to f star I. So f I have 1 is equal to 1 star my I value here 1. Okay, now my factorial will be having the value 1. Okay, now next my I will be getting incremented. Now my I becomes 2. 2 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, the condition is true. Now in my next step, what happens? F is equal to uh, f star I. Okay, so f is equal to in my previous case I have f as 1, 1 and 2. In my current value I'll be having 2, right? So 2. Now f becomes 2. Next my value will be getting incremented. Yeah, I becomes 3. I'll be checking whether 3 is less than or equal to 5. Yes, the condition is true. Now uh, f becomes, my f value is 2 in my previous step. So 2 into my current I value is 3. This will be computed and it will be getting stored in f. So now my f becomes, f is equal to 6. Sorry, 6. Okay. Now next my I will be getting incremented. I becomes 4. 4 is less than or equal to 5. Now what happens? F is equal to, my in my previous step my f was 6. 6 into my current I value 4. So my, like my f will be 20 here. Okay. Now next um yes. So now next my I becomes 5. So 5 is less than or equal to 5. Okay. F is equal to, my previous step my f value was 20. 20 into my current I value 5. So now my f becomes 120 and 120 is the factorial of 5. So people are clear with the concept? Are you clear with how to find a factorial of a number by using for loop? Why for loop is also called the master loop? So do we call for loop as master loop? I don't know. A for loop is not called a master loop, but it is commonly used loop that is recommended when the number of iterations is known. It is also known as entry. Okay, so it is Sahil. It's not anywhere called it as master loop. Okay, because Gemini says that, and we do call it as entry control loop. Usually, like see, uh, in while loop we won't be having, if we don't know any conditions until how much times my loop is going to work, we'll be using while loop. But here I know until which time my for loop is going to work. So in this case my input is going to be 5, so for 5 times I'm going to run my for loop in order to check, in order to compute the factorial of a number. So here I'll be knowing until the last, I mean I'll be knowing the last limit, or I'll be knowing the last range up to which my for loop has to work. So for loop is something, the place where, I mean the area where I want to use if I know how many number of iterations I want to do. So it is it is not a master loop, but it is known as an entry control loop because we do have control in the number of iterations. So if you already know the number of iterations, how many times the loop has to go in prior, we can go with for loop, or else we can go with while loop or do while. Usually, go and do don't do with do. I mean, don't go with do while and all. It's like a tongue twister. So I mean, don't use do while. Okay, do while is just for your knowledge. Like we do have something the concept called do while loop in Java. But usually, whenever you are going to solve any problems, or whenever you want to use Java code in DSA or in building your applications, just go with while and for. If you know the number of iterations, you can go with for. And one more thing, like some people will be very much comfortable with for loop, or some will be comfortable while loop. It depends completely on you. But both the thing will be giving the same result. And do while, if you are going to have certain use cases, you can go with do while. But I haven't used do while in my real time coding, so it's up to you guys. Okay. Okay. For each loop we have mother. Like for each loop is actually in order to traverse a particular data structure, or a particular structure, or a particular container, or something like that. Okay, or an array. Next we are going to see the concept of array, so don't worry. Okay, while seeing the concept of array and strings, we'll be using for each loop. Okay, we do have for each loop in Java. Okay guys, so next is my jump statements. Jump statements, we do have two jump statements: break and continue. Okay. Okay. Uh, I mean, I think if people know how a break works. So if you're going to give anything inside, if you're going to give whenever the control encounters a break statement, the control is going to be broken out of that particular loop. I'll be showing an example. Okay. So I'm going to have a condition. Okay, if my break condition is given somewhere inside my code, then my loop breaks. That's it. After that, how many code or how many iterations we have or we are left with, it won't mind it. Okay, and continue. Continue is a keyword that actually it is used in order to skip that particular step. Okay, I'll be telling an example. Okay, just it's a very simple example, and okay, so I just want to print from 1 to 10. So I'm going to give an if condition here. If my I is equal to 4, then I'm going to break. That's it. Otherwise, I'll be printing my I value. Okay, so I'm going to give break here. So my for loop goes from 1 to 10, and if it encounters 4 anywhere in that particular loop step, I'm going to break it. Otherwise, I'm going to print value of I. Okay, so here what is the case? Initially, the value of I is 1. So that time, my I 1 is not equal to 4. So this statement is getting executed. Now my I becomes 2. 2 is not equal to 4. This statement is getting executed. 3 is not equal to 4, so this statement is getting executed. Next my control comes here. 4 is equal to 4. Yeah, the condition is true, so this block will be getting executed. Now I have given break. After it encounters break statement, my entire for loop is broken and the control comes outside of the for loop. Okay, so in this case, uh, I'm receiving only three outputs. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Next, I'm going to see the difference here. I'm going to comment it out, and I'm going to take a continue. Now, what happens if I give continue means, okay, again the loop goes from 1 to 10. Okay, if I is equal to 4, if somewhere in my for loop my I value becomes 4, continue. When I give this continue, all the rest of the code which is present after the continue block will not be getting executed at all. If the continue is like if the control sees the continue keyword, then again my control goes to the for loop only. So that time this the rest of the code in that particular block will be getting skipped. Now I'll be getting my values from 1 to 10, but 4 will not be present because when I is equal to 4, I have given continue. Continue in the sense, don't go to further steps, continue again with the for loop, something like that. Okay, 4 will not be coming. Okay, so see here, 1, 2, 3. Okay, when 4 is being encountered, I have given continue, so this is skip. Again, it goes to the for loop, and now 5 is not equal to 4, so this is getting executed. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 in a similar fashion. And this is the difference between a break and then continuous statement. Why this is called as a jump statement in the sense we are going to, jump from one part of the code to another with the help of these things. Okay, so that's why it is termed as jump statements. Yeah, sure, Sonali, I'll be sending you this PPT. Okay. And this is all about the jump statements. And before seeing the methods declaration, let's go for the arrays concept. Okay, or else we'll see the method declarations, because today we want to at least cover until strings. So that's that's my plan, and then only tomorrow we'll be able to see the oops concept. Okay. Yes, guys. So now method declaration, and I have already said you method is something like a function in Python. Okay. So yes, I'm going to write a particular method here. Method in order to find square of a number. Okay. This is my main method. Outside my main method, but inside my main class, I'm going to write another method. Okay. Now, okay. We know the general syntax of how a method must be written, right? So first it must have access modifier. Don't worry, we'll also be seeing all the types of access modifier. We're having 4 types of access modifier in Java: public, private, protected, and default. Okay, so if you're not giving any access modifier, if you're not specifying anything, so it is counted as a default access modifier. Okay, and this is my return type. This is going to be my return type, and this is my method name, and this is my parameters list. Okay, or the arguments. Okay, method is something like function. So I'm just going to, okay, so my return type of my method is int, and it is squares. Okay, and only one parameter I'm going to give as input. I'm going to compute, or I'm going to give return num star num. Okay, now I'm going to take an input from the user. As the return type is int here, I want to store the result of this particular method in another int variable only. Int result is equal to here I'm going to call the function. Okay, here I have defined a function. Here I'm going to call call a method. Squares of this n I'm going to pass. I'm going to print array. Today I'm making many typos. Square of n is result. As it is an ordinal compare, we are supposed to start it. Okay, so I'm going to give 4. Square of 4 is 16. So this is actually a method how we are going to write. Okay, so instead of again and again writing the same logic, where and all I require some operation is going to happen, I'll be giving the logic in a very separate method, and whenever it is needed, I'll be using that method. I'll be calling that method in my main program. Okay, so here I'm going to get a user input, and I'm going to store it in the variable yan. Okay, and in the result, as my squares, it is going to return a value. In my, I'm going to perform squares operation for this particular n. So I'm going to pass this parameter n inside the squares method. So here the num will be having the value of n, or the here I have given 4, right? So inside the square method 4 will be passed in the parameter, and it returns 4 into 4. 4 into 4 is 16. The value, the result which I have written here is being catched here, like it is being assigned to the result value, and when I'm trying to print the result, I'm getting the answer. So this is how a basic method must be. You can have even a void method. Void method means it will not return anything. Okay, guys, are you clear with the method? You can have any number of methods, and it is a very a simple method definition. You can have any complex method. Okay, for void method, just a function call is enough, like static void. I'm giving something like static void. It's a welcome message. I'm going to welcome you all. System dot out dot println. Welcome guys to the Java session. Welcoming you guys to the Java session. And as it is a void method, I don't want to assign anything. I'm just going to call my welcome method. Okay, so you can have a method of any data type. I mean, any written data type. You can also return an array. You can also return a 2D array. Okay, you can also return a string, a character array, or a boolean value, anything. So, guys, are you clear with how? Okay, thank you, Rohit. Okay, so next we'll be seeing the concept of what I mean by an array. So now only we are getting started with the thing which is called as a data structure, or a place, a container in order to store our elements. So array is a linear data structure. Okay, a linear data structure in the sense all my array elements, it is going to be stored in a sequential manner. Okay, in a sequential manner, I'm going to store my array elements. Okay, and I'll be telling you how an array element will be stored, and like how we are going to access a particular array element. Okay. So, and also, if you know the length of the array or the size of the array, you want to specify it while declaring itself. Okay. So, whenever you're going to use an array, first of all, you have to declare that I'm going to use a particular array here with the length as much as it is required. Okay, and then you have to create an array for the same. Um, okay, so here my array size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here my array size is 7. Okay, so whenever I'm going to create an array, I want to specify my array as 7. my size of the array is 7, and I'll be able to access the elements, or I'll be able to manipulate the elements which is present in an array only with the help of something called as indexing. Okay, indexing starts from 0 to size of the array minus 1. If my size of the array is 7, I'll be having the index from 0 to 6, 7 minus 1. If my size of the array is 50, my indexing will be 0 to 49. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yes. So whenever I want to store a particular element in the 0th position of this array, I want to and here I like keep assume my array name is ARR. So whenever I want to assign some value also, okay, I want to make use of indexing only. So ARR of we have to specify the index in a square bracket. 0 is equal to the value which you're going to pass. Okay, and array is mutable. Mutable in the sense you can change the elements of the array as much times as you want. And array is a linear data structure, I have said, right? The meaning, okay, let's say suppose this is my integer array. Okay, this is an integer array where I'm going to store only integer values. And one more thing, array is a placeholder, or array is a linear data structure where every element of the array belongs to the same data type. So if I'm going to declare the ARR as an integer array, then all the elements which is present in the entire array is going to be an integer data type. Okay, and here also the same, I'm going to have an integer array, and we know for int array the size of each element will be 4. Okay, so I have said this will be stored in a sequential manner, right? So the memory allocation will be, for first element it will be 1000. Let's keep the memory address as 1000. My second element will be stored in 1004, because my first element, it consumes 4 bytes, right? So 1004. And my next element will be in the address 1008, which is increased by the size of the data type of that particular element. Well, so it means the sequential way, or it means it has some linear data structure. It has some sequence to follow in order to store the particular element, right? It is not something like graph or linked list, because in graph and linked list, each node of the data structure, each node of linked list, it is not, it does not follow a sequential manner. It is something, it is non-linear data structures. So this is a linear data structure where we are going to store the elements which comprises of the same data type. Okay, yes. So it's an object. Java array is an object which contains the elements of a similar data type. Okay, and it is stored in contiguous memory location. I have said you, right. And we do have two types of array: single and multi-dimensional, 1D array and 2D array. Okay, so today we'll be seeing the concepts which is related to 1D array. Okay, guys, are you clear with what is an array? Guys, are you clear with what's an array? Because array is an important data structure. So it's a linear data structure. Okay, so okay, let me ask the user, okay, for how much size you want to, I mean, I'll be getting input from the user in order to specify the length of the array. Enter the array length, and I'm going to give length is equal to sc dot next. So this is going to be my array length. Okay, and now I'm going to declare my array. There are various ways of declaring the array. Okay, int arr, as it is a 1D array, I want to specify square bracket here. If it is a 2D array, I want to give 2 square brackets. Okay. So int array is equal to new int of length. Here I am getting the length from the user. That's why I'm going to create an array of that particular length, and I'm going to create an integer array. Okay. Guys, are you people facing any difficulty in understanding this, or do I want to go in a slow way? Like, you can let me know because no one is responding. Okay. So next, okay. If my length of the array is 3 means, I'll easily put ARR of 0 is equal to 1 or 10. ARR of 1 is equal to 20, 30. ARR of 2 is equal to something like 56, 57. What if my array size is 10, or what if my array size is 20? Okay, so this is the place where you have to use the concept which you have studied in our previous concept, which we have studied, for loop. Okay, until the length up to which the user is giving the input, that much time I want to ask the user the element of that particular index. Okay, so I'll be putting for loop for in I is equal to 0 to I is less than len I plus plus. Okay, print element. I want to put enter the element at ith index. Now, usually we used to give only like this, right? Int of len is equal to sc dot next in. Now I'm going to uh, get the input from the user, and then I want to assign it to the arrays, to the array, right? So I have also said you like we can manipulate the data which is present in an array only with the help of indexing. Whatever thing we are going to do, if you are going to traverse the array, if you're going to manipulate, if you're going to update, if you're going to add an element, if you're going to insert any value, everything will be done only with the help of indexing. So here what we will be doing is ARR of I is equal to sc dot next in. Okay. So yeah. Now I want to print the elements which is present in my array. I don't know the name. Someone asked use of for each loop, right? For each loop. In for each loop, what we'll be doing is the general syntax is for the data type of your array on which you're going to apply some iterator. Here, my array is an integer data type, so I'll be giving int element and my array name. Just print the element. That's it. System dot out dot print. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to get the array length from the user. I have created an array here, okay, of that length, and I'm going to get all the elements for which I'm going to store it from the user, and then I'm going to print by using for each loop. Will you? I'll show you the demo here of how the execution is being done. Let's create an array of size 4. Okay. Let's create an array of size 4. Okay. Array length will be 4. Now it's asking enter the element at 0th index. I'm giving 10. So in my 0th index, 10 will be added. Next, I'm going to give the element at my first index 35. 35 is assigned in my array. Next, I'm going to give something 70. In my index 2, 70 is going to be getting assigned, okay? And next in my index 3, 40. 40 will be getting assigned. Now I'll be letting you people know how for each works. Okay, so after this step, I have uh, I have assigned the elements to the array. Okay, now I'm going to print the array elements in this for each loop. Like this is an integer array, right? So I am going to have a iterator. Iterator in the sense a variable which is going to have the same data type of that particular array. So here, this is going to be my element. Element is a variable. Okay, so for the element is a variable which is of the same data type integer. So initially my element will be placed here. So I'm just going to print the element. So the element will be printed 10. Next, in the next iteration of for, the element will be easily updated or incremented. Next, this becomes my element. 35 becomes my element. So now I'm going to print the element 35. And next in the for each loop, 70 becomes my element. So 70 will be getting printed. And in the next case, 40 will be getting printed. Okay. Don't mind my handwriting. You can give any iterator here. You can also give E and you can print the same. Okay. It works. So this is basically, how to get the input from the user and how to create an array, a 1D array, and how to traverse that with the help of for each loop. Okay. So guys, are you clear with the array concept? Sure. Okay. Guys, are you clear with the concept? Now, okay. Now, let's see, the question which we have seen yesterday. I'll be, and one more way of, I'll be telling you one more way of one more way of, initializing the array, and then we'll be printing the elements, and next we'll be going to that statement, problem statement, okay? Yeah. So I'm just going to directly assign my array values. Int array is equal to, my array will be 10, 20, 30, something like this. This is going to be my array. Okay, so I have directly I have given the array elements in curly braces, and I have initialized and declare it to ARR, and just I'm going to print for in I in ARR system dot out dot println I. Okay, it's getting printed. If you don't want to use, and one more thing, in coding point of view and all, you won't be using for each loop. It's a very very rare case, because you here if you want to manipulate anything with the help of indexing, means you cannot do it in the for each loop. So better go with the for loop. For in I is equal to 0. Okay, 0 will be my first index, and I don't know my until how many times my loop is going to run, right? So we do have a default function, length function, in order to find the array length, arr dot length I plus plus. I'm just going to print system dot out dot println. Here I'll be having the index manipulation. So ith element will be ARR of I. Okay, so element at 0th position is 10. So similarly it goes. So guys, are you clear with this format as well? Okay, So now my question is, we'll be seeing a couple of questions. It's very easy. I'll be giving you an array. We have to find the frequency of the elements. Okay. Let's have a minimum size like 5 or 6. Okay, so 6. Let's say let's create an array of size 6, and I'm going to have the elements 1, 1, 2, 3, 2. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to have, guys, do you people want to work with an integer array or with an character array? Because already we have seen an example for integer array while creating and declaring, right? So maybe people want to work it out with something like a character array. Let's find the frequency of words, or let's find the frequency of letters. Let the question, anything is fine. Okay. Okay, I mean this is very simple. So let's go with some characters. Okay, so I'm going to create a character array, because if I'm going to explain you the concept of character array only, I'll be able to explain you ASCII values also. And people, just let me drop a message in the chat box how many people know something about ASCII value. Okay, I'm going to have the characters A, B, like C, A, D, B. Okay, so my output must be in this format. A, the occurrence of A is 2 times. The occurrence of B is again 2 times. Occurrence of C is 1 time. Occurrence of D is 1 time. Yesterday I have said you a collection framework which we can use in order to find the frequency. So do you people remember? Do any of you remember? And we can use that collection framework also, but today we are going to see a bucketing algorithm. Okay. The name of the algorithm which I'm going to use here is bucketing algorithm. I'll be giving the same input. A, okay. This is a character array, so character array A, A, B, C, A, then D, then B. Okay. Okay, so I have a character array. Okay. For in I is equal to 0, I is less than arr dot length, I plus plus. I'll be first telling you the approach, okay, of what or the algorithm, about the bucketing algorithm and the approach, how this problem I'm going to solve this problem, and then we'll be getting into the coding part. Okay, so you know about ASCII. Okay, so the first approach is we can use hash map, the collection framework, okay, in order to find the frequency of the letters. Or you can also do, you can sort the array. I think you people know what do you mean by sort. Sort is if you have an array like 2, 1, 2, 6, 1, 4, 3 means when you sort it in either ascending or descending order, the elements of the array will be changing. If you're going to sort it in ascending order, then the array elements will become 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. If it is descending order, means the vice versa. Okay, you can also sort the array. This is the second approach. You can either sort the array, and then you can compare the adjacent elements, and you can like add its count, and you can print. uh, the bucketing algorithm is it is okay. It is very interesting. So, like, listen guys. Okay, so bucketing algorithm. So here I'm just going to um, count the occurrences of letters only, right? So already we know in English alphabets we do have 26 letters only, right? So uh, never mind how many elements are going to be inside my array. It is going to be somewhere between A to Z, because they have given only letters are going to be in the character array. Okay, and you have to count the frequency of letters. Okay, so obviously we are just going to have only 26 alphabets. So let's initialize an array with size 27, because you want to have elements. Okay, you just create an array of 27. That's fine. Okay, now first, this is our original array, right? This is original array. Guys, I'll be explaining you. If you're not getting, just let me know, then I can also help you explain. um, this is my original array or the input array. Okay, this is the array which I have created in my bucketing algorithm approach. I mean, this array size will be 27. Okay, this will be 27, but for time's sake, now I am drawing just 5 boxes I am putting here. Okay, but it goes until 26. So my starting index will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Why to waste this space? Just give 26 here until 25. Okay. Okay. Now, ASCII value in the sense, we for each and every characters or for each and every digits, characters, special characters, whichever we are going to use it in our code. Okay, we do have certain ASCII values which is being given to the particular characters. Okay, so the ASCII value from capital A to capital Z is from 65 to 90. I'll be showing you the three different numbers. Yeah, you are correct, Sahil. Okay, so I'm very fast. Okay. See, in the bucketing algorithm concept, according to this particular question, they have just said us we are going to have the letters in a character array. Okay, which means this is my original array, the original input array, which I'm having here. Okay, which I'm having here. This is my original character array. Now this is the desired output, and this is the input which is given to me. Okay, and I'll be explaining you the bucketing algorithm in this region. Okay, first of all, in the bucketing algorithm I'm going to use another array in order to find the frequency of the elements in my original array. Okay, now what I'll be doing here is I know my alphabets will be only I'll be having 26 alphabets, right? I'll be having only 26 alphabets. Let's take in the original array, I'm going to have only lowercase digits or lowercase alphabets. Okay. Now, only with as we are dealing with characters and indexes, okay, we want to introduce the concept of ASCII, because ASCII are some predefined values which is given to each and every characters which we are using it in the code. Okay, so I'll be showing you the ASCII table. So this is going to be my ASCII table. This is the character. Don't see the hex and of value, just see the decimal values. Okay. So if it is A, then its corresponding ASCII value will be 65. Okay. If it is B, then its corresponding ASCII value will be 66. If it is C, then its corresponding ASCII value will be 67. Similarly, in this case, we are in our array case, we are just dealing with small a to z, right? So the small a to z will be having the ASCII range from 97 to 122. Okay. So first, the method which I'll be doing is for the bucketing algorithm. In this case, I'll be initializing an array of size 26 because we are just going to have only 26 English alphabets. Next, what I'll be doing, I want to traverse the input array. Okay, and as the input array has characters in it, I want to convert it into its particular ASCII value. Okay, so convert or find the ASCII value of the characters. Okay, after finding the ASCII value, somehow I want to store that particular characters, okay, in the array which we have created. Let me explain you with the help of the code. Okay, first I'll be like printing the ASCII value of these numbers. Okay, so in order to convert the character into an integer value, we are just going to give int ASCII is equal to ARR of I minus 0. System dot yes. So if I'm going to give something like this, okay, so ARR of I minus 0, that time I'll be getting the corresponding ASCII value. Okay, let's see, for A the corresponding ASCII value is 97, right? 97. Okay, for B the corresponding ASCII value is 98. For C it is 99. So similarly we'll be getting the ASCII value. Okay, so in our next step we have received the ASCII value. Okay, somehow in that array which I have created, I want to create an array of length 26. It will be an integer array. Int bucket is equal to new int of 26. Okay, in my bucket array I want to store the frequency of all these things. So what I'll be doing is, in order to find the correct index, let me find the index. It's equal to ASCII minus, because if it is A, I mean I'll be telling you the intuition, like guys, if you people are not getting, like, let me know. Okay, so for example, if it is A, it is the first letter of the English alphabet, so I'm going to represent it as 0. Okay, next B is the second letter, so I'm going to represent it as 1. Then C is the third letter, so I'm going to represent it as 2, because I mean in this array it's C is going to be my third element, but still the index is 2, right? So now the case is I'm going to encounter A. Okay, so in my 0th index I'm going to have the count as 1. This is my bucket array. Okay, bucket array, I'll be just putting B. Next I'm going to have B. Okay, so what I'm going to do in my B, in my I mean B is the second element, so in the second element I'm just going to place 1. Okay, I'm just going to increment it to 1. Then C is my third element, so here I'll be representing this index as the letters. Okay, so it is going to be my third element. Again, now A is being encountered. Okay, now when while computing, by performing some calculations, I want to make it as 0, and I want to get the thing as 0. So the zeroth index will be incremented. So 2, it will be converted into 2. Then D. Now D will be having 3. Okay, so in the place of 3, the index 3, I'm going to have 1. I'm going to put 1 because 1D is there, right? And again, I'm going to encounter B. B is the second element, but in the index, we'll be storing 1. So in my 1 index, I'll be storing B. And this is my frequency array. Okay, in order to find these values only, we are going to use ASCII. Okay. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to convert A into its ASCII. The ASCII is 97, right? Do minus 97. What happens? I'll be getting the 0 as my index. Okay. So int index is equal to ASCII here is 97. 97 minus 97. The index will be 0. So in my bucket of, bucket of 0, bucket of index, I'll be incrementing the count by 1. Okay. Now I'll be printing index for each and everything. We should get this index. So we have received, okay, 0, B corresponds to 1 index, C corresponds to index 2, A again corresponds to index 3, D corresponds to index, A corresponds to index 0, D corresponds to index 3, and B corresponds to index 1. So people, are you clear with until this step? Why does indexing starts from 0? It is actually something kind of a postulate in math. We don't know how and why, but that's the true thing. Okay. So people, just let me know. Are you clear until this step? Only Rohit and Sahil is active. What about others? Because bucketing algorithm is very useful for you guys. So that's why. Others, please respond now. Whether are you able to understand until this step? Okay. What about others like Sonali, Madhav, BCA Coder, Lutera? Guys, are you sure? I'll share the code, Rohit. Sakshi, thank you, Sakshi. Guys, what about others like? Okay, so I hope you people are clear. So now we have received this indexes, right? These are the indexes of my bucket where I want to, store my values. Okay. Now what I'll do is, let me give array of, sorry, bucket of index plus plus. Okay, and we'll be receiving an error here. Can anyone say what will be an error here? Why is this an error? Okay, it's not an error. Okay, cool. It's not an error because in some cases, first of all, there is no any values in bucket, right? So first we have to fill all the elements in the bucket as 0, and then only we have to increment. Okay, don't worry. here it's getting assigned. It was just for my checking. Okay, guys, are you clear with the steps? So I'm retrieving the indexes where I want to store this particular thing. And see, in my initial step for a, 0 will be my index. In my bucket of 0, I'm going to increment it. I'm going to do a post increment here, bucket of 0 plus plus. So initially my bucket of index will be bucket of 0 will be 0. Now it's getting incremented to 1. Okay, now it's getting incremented to 1. Before I have written 1, right? And b will be 1. B will be getting incremented. Similarly, C when C comes here into in second index, the C is frequency will be getting incremented. And again when A comes 0, so again the 0th index will be getting incremented. So we have received this array. Everything here is 0 until 26. So people are clear with this step with the bucket array? Okay. So we have constructed even the bucket array. Now what we have to do? My output must be in sorry. My output must be in this format, right? So what I'll be doing is I'll be traversing my bucket array. Okay. For int j is equal to 0, j is less than, I know I know the array size. J is less than 26, j plus plus. Okay. I'll be retrieving the frequency. Int frequency is equal to bucket of j. Okay. And now in order to in order to convert a character to integer, what I have done, I have just I have given the int, which is typecasting I have done, and then in order to reduce it to our particular index, I have subtracted it by 97. Okay. So again, I want to convert it into, here I want to add plus 97. That time only my ASCII will be getting matched, and then I want to typecast that ASCII value to the character value, its corresponding character value. Okay, guys, are you getting? Because here, initially, just now we are going to play with the index and ASCII values. Okay, now I have received this bucket array, but I want to retrieve the element a. Okay, so I want to somehow say my system. I want to write the logic stating that 0 means a. We have converted a to 0, and then only we have stored the element here, right? So now I want to say this 0 index corresponds to a and 1 corresponds to b. Okay, so what I'll be doing is I'll be adding 97 to it. 0 plus 97. 0 plus 97, it is 97, right? And the corresponding character value of 97 will be a, small a. And next thing, 1 plus 97, it's 98, right? 1 plus 97, it's 90. I mean the same thing here. 1 plus 97, it's 98. And the character value of 98 is b. People, are you getting it? This is the ASCII value and the corresponding character value is b. Okay, so yeah, in frequency, now let's not mind the frequency. So just I'm going to convert from 0 to a. Okay, now yes, int ASCII is equal to j plus 97, character ch is equal to typecasting char of ASCII. Let's see whether it works. Print ch plus. So now in this step, now I'm just going to print. It will be printed A, B, C, D, E, F, G until Z. Okay. Yeah, it's getting printed. Cool. I'll be calculating the frequency. Okay, CH plus or colon plus its corresponding frequency. I mean, okay, this is the frequency. Here we want to add a check. Okay, only if the frequency is greater than 1, I mean greater than 0, we have to do all these things. Only if the frequency is greater than 0, we have to perform all this block of the code. So I'll be running this code and we are getting the desired output. So it works if you're also changing, you're also changing your input elements. Okay, guys. So people, are you clear with this? And this is the meaning of bucketing algorithm. Bucketing algorithm means you're just going to have another array, okay, which is termed something as bucket, and then you're going to calculate the frequency of each and every element. The reason why I have given you a character array is here only we'll be able to use the ASCII concept. And I want you people to know about ASCII conversion, of how to convert an integer to character. And this is known as typecasting. Typecasting is something we are going to convert an element from one data type to another data type, that is known as typecasting. So here we have seen the concept of typecasting as well. In this area, I have converted a character to an integer, and here I have converted an integer to a character. So that's why I took this example. Okay, but if you people want to understand very clearly, you can also have can also have an integer array, and for integer array it is not required in order to do typecasting and all. So guys, are you clear with bucketing algorithm and how was this approach? How was this algorithm? Do you people have any doubts in this algorithm? Okay, I'm notepad here. Okay. Let me check. You try it out with any online compilers, no? Sahil, because using Notepad is a very traditional approach. You use any kind of like online compiler or something like IDE? Okay, okay. Like I haven't done. Yeah, sure. I'll be sending you the code. I haven't done the typecasting in Notepad and all. I haven't used Notepad for Java and all. You can either go for any online compilers or even in IDE it works. So I'm happy that you people are coding with me in a very in parallelly. Like, I'm very happy. Thank you guys. So I'll be sharing you the code. Guys, so uh, people, are you clear with the concept? Only 4 of them are clear with the concept, it seems. What about others, guys? So can you please share your journey of becoming a Java developer so we can get motivation from you? See, something like first, like I was also a newbie to this decade things, and I used to surf a lot. Like I'll be very enthusiastic in knowing about the recent technology. So you could call me even as a technophile. Okay. Uh, so everybody was running behind Python because as it was very easy, and even in my school days, I have learned Python. Like next they have taught C, Okay, but as C is a structured language, we could not use C for DSA, because in order to even create a very simple linked list, I want to write that much lines of code, and it is not compatible for competitive programming stuffs. Okay. Um, yeah. Then in the choice between C++ and Java, like uh, I mean, it's not like it's not a very big journey and all. Like I found Java is very interesting one. So I mean, it was simple for me. That's why I have used Java. And um, in the perspective of cognitive programming, logic matters and language doesn't matter. Logic and the way of how your approach is and how your idea of solving that particular problem, it matters a lot. The language doesn't matter. But if you learn Java, like you have many like I mean, like coding in Java is simple, as well as like you will be having many opportunities, because C++ could be used in gaming related tasks, but many companies, like in order to develop their own products, software products, people are still preferring Java because it's a very highly secure environment. Okay, so future is in Java or Python, as the LLMs use Python. And do you know something, like we can also create machine learning models with the help of Java. But we don't. But I don't know how to create. But we can create even ML models using Java. Okay. I mean, the future is in like our skills and our way of approaching the problem, because in future there might be many problems which will be approaching for us. Okay, so it's our way of thinking it logically and approaching it. And okay, guys, like for a couple of minutes, I'll be not having any idea about what's ahead. You can share your LinkedIn ID, so that like I will connect with you. And I mean, if you're having any like like if you don't know like how to get started with studying, or how to get started in upskilling yourself, we can connect, and I'll be letting you know. But next I'll be going with the string concept. I'll be just giving a simple a 2 minute introduction once again. Android developer is something like Android and software developer, like mm, Android developer usually they concentrate on mobile app development things, stuff. Mobile app development using Flutter, or like Android Studio. Whereas software developer, they deal with many things, because IT is not only related to uh, I mean um, developing apps. No, like IT, we have various sectors. So a software developer can take many roles as per the project needs. Okay, yeah. So yes, guys. So next, you send me like you share your LinkedIn ID in the chat. I'll connect to Alexa. Mm, yeah. So next thing is the Java strings. We'll be just seeing a very simple introduction, and then we are done for today's session. So actually, Java strings, as we have already used, it's a sequence of characters, and string is an object here. Okay, so string is not a data type. String is actually treated as an object in Java. Okay, and strings are immutable. Okay, and we can create strings by using two things, either by using a string literal or by using a new keyword. And we do have classes like string buffer and string builder classes. Okay, string, you can also use string builder classes, because you have various functionalities whenever you are using string builder class. You have many predefined methods whenever you are using string builder class. So if you are going to create a string with the help of string builder class, it actually helps you. Many methods are available, but the thing is you have to know the syntax of each and every method. Okay, and whatever string objects you're going to create, it will be stored in another memory, which is called a string constant pool. Okay, and don't worry, tomorrow we'll be starting with strings, and in strings also, I'll be telling you a very, a very interesting approach. And yeah, this is all about string. String is actually an object where it is a sequence of characters. We can store, like any characters. It could be digits or numbers or anything, or an alphabet. Okay. uh, and it is enclosed in double quotes. Okay. And strings are considered as an object. Already I think we have used a string, we have seen about strings. So string, whenever we are creating a new string, it is actually stored in an memory area which is known as string constant pool. Okay, so don't worry, tomorrow we'll be starting the class with strings. We'll be solving some interesting coding problems using strings. And strings and arrays are very, 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 very important concepts. Okay, so these are the very basic things. You have to be very strong enough in order to solve any type of problems. And after seeing the Java strings, we'll be moving on to the OOPS concept. So we are done for the day. If you people have any doubts, you can let me know in the chat. Otherwise, we'll wind up today's session, guys. And how was today's session? Your feedback from your side, and how was the bucketing algorithm approach? Okay. Only I have received, this is my LinkedIn, but I haven't received any ID. Thank you, Rohit. Guys, so give me the feedback of today's session. And if you people have any doubts, you can let me know in the chat. Otherwise, we can wind up. So, okay, guys, so let's wind up today's session. Let's wrap up. Okay, I'll be sending you the code and the PPT. I don't have any written notes or kind of PDF kind of stuffs, but I'll be sharing you the PPT and the code. Okay, and yeah, we are done for the day. So thank you everyone for your cooperation, guys. Tomorrow, let's see more about strings as well as OOPS concept. Okay, thank you, guys. So thank you for your patience and cooperation. Thank you. I usually use Flutter because for Android development, I usually use Flutter because it is quite easy. It's a lightweight language. Okay, don't worry, don't worry. Don't worry. Tomorrow, I'll be. I mean, let me. Let's connect. Okay, or I'll be telling you my mail.